Hello everyone, thank you very much for joining the webinar about how you can make your Microsoft environments much safer with Acronis data protection. My name is Adam Topless and I'm an ISV partner manager at Grey Matter. For anybody who's not familiar with Grey Matter, we've been selling software since 1983. We offer a range of software and cloud services to support your business, technical or development needs. We work with over 400 partners and are proud to be an Acronis and Microsoft Gold partner. In line with GDPR, we want to help ensure that the data in your Microsoft environments is kept secure against common attacks such as ransomware, phishing, and so on. So I think without any further ado, I'll pass you over to Kieran to tell you how Acronis can help you do that.
So anyway, thank you for that, Adam. Obviously, my name is Kieran. I'm Strategic Partner and Manager for Grey Matter UK and Ireland. For anyone who doesn't know Acronis at all, our European HQ is in Switzerland, and our international HQ is in Singapore. We pretty much cover most of the world. We've got about 25 offices, about 1,000 employees, and we actually look after about 5,000 petabytes of data, which is about 5 exabytes. Again, a lot, we've got about 500,000 business customers and 5 million consumer customers. Most people know us because of our product True Image, but today we're going to be talking about Backup 12.5. So first off, if you don't know who we are, again, we're a backup provider. We mainly work with SMBs, SMEs, and enterprise companies throughout the world. So here's basically a bit of a vanity slide, tell you who we're working with, but the main thing is we're very big in manufacturing and automotive, but also financial industries, healthcare. We're very big within public sector as well. So the idea of the product is any workload.
Very, very simple. It means that we can basically do any management, whether it's you guys managing your own environments, whether it's your service providers managing your environment, or whether you want to put all of your data within, an ROM tool or into a cloud environment. It doesn't matter what, we'll be able to deal with it. So what it means is we do any protection, whether that be archiving, backup, cloud storage. We can do file sync and share, monitoring, disaster recovery. We even have cloud storage as well. We work with all of the largest cloud vendors out there and everything on site. What that means is we can back up any single workload, whether you're totally cloud, whether you're totally on premises, or you're somewhere in between. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you've got physical, virtual, or mobile workforce, or you're looking to move into the cloud in the next 6 months. Wherever you are now and wherever you are in the future, we work with you 100%. We can send the data to pretty much anywhere as well. So again, onto on-premise environments like disk, tape, NAS, and SAN, but we also work with some of the larger cloud environments, like obviously Azure. We have our own data centers. We work with Amazon. We work with Google. And also, let's say you've got a satellite office that isn't connected via VPN. You can even send it via FTP or secure FTP. Basis is we can do any recovery. So simple data recovery such as file recovery, mailbox, down to individual email. We've also got system recovery. So we do bare metal recovery, instant restore, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And it basically means that we can do dissimilar hardware migration or dissimilar deployments. So we can do physical to virtual, physical to cloud, cloud to physical, basically, and anywhere in between. So no matter where your data starts off, we can recover it to somewhere totally different on a totally different piece of hardware, or even put a virtual Azure server onto a piece of tin on site. It doesn't matter for us. And what that means is if you're using things like our data center, we also offer things like physical data shipment, replication, and high availability services. So nice and simple, we protect your entire business, whether it's on-premise, remote, cloud, public cloud, or mobile. So as discussed, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about actually the Acronis Backup product, and then after this, I will give you a quick demonstration on it. So as discussed, we are the backup provider of choice if you are using Microsoft environment. So we cover pretty much Azure, we cover Windows, Windows Server, Windows PC, Exchange, SQL, SharePoint, Active Directory, obviously Hyper-V, and Office 365 mailboxes. We will soon have SharePoint and OneDrive coming into that, which will be in our next version of the software, which I think is going to be somewhere between the next 4 to 6 months. But we know not everywhere is a 100% total Microsoft environment. What people might have is virtualization servers such as VMware, Citrix. They might have Linux, KVM virtualization servers. So we typically work with pretty much anything on the market. We can do Amazon. We can even cover Macs within your environment as well. So we cover 21 different platforms. Go through a few of the key features. As I discussed, it's a complete business protection solution. No matter where your data is, what it's hosted on, we can back it up. We also have the fastest recovery and multiple recovery options. So whether you want to do a granular recovery, a bare metal recovery, you want to do an instant restore. And what an instant restore is, we take a server, you can create a virtual kind of computing power at the front end, and it can connect into our backups, and that backup will basically emulate a C drive. So you can turn that server on instantly and use it as if it was, as if it was still there, but obviously it's still recovering in the background. It runs in degraded mode for a couple of hours until all of that background work is finished, but you can basically use it straight away. We've also got things as well like virtual host recovery. So a lot of people obviously back up VMs within, let's say, a Hyper-V or a VMware host. We can actually back up the whole host. So if that hardware fails in any way, you can do a full recovery, including all of the VMs within that box. We can also do things as well like remote recoveries. We have automated recoveries. And again, we can do any-to-any migration. And flexible storage options, as discussed, no matter where you want to put it, we can put it there. We also have built-in things like deduplication, compression, and something that is very cool is off-host operations. So if you've got one server that you couldn't migrate to virtual and it's on its last legs and actually it doesn't have enough computing power to probably run a backup, or you're worried, this can actually be managed by a different server, which will pull the information off that server. We have some very, very cool things as well around management. So we've got a centralized web console, but what you can also do is administration roles. So your CTO or yourself can have the overarching administration, but let's say you've got a couple of satellite offices, or you've got somebody who just looks after your SQL databases. What you can give is their management based around that set of servers or that location. We've also got some very cool things as well, like dashboards and advanced reporting, which I'm going to go into within the demo. And again, we have a development team which are always coming out with really cool stuff. So the first one being Active Protection. Active Protection is a zero-day ransomware threat protection system involved in every single one of our endpoints. The reason we're kind of getting into the ransomware protection game is literally a couple of years back, there was a piece of ransomware that not only attacked laptops and servers, but then actively sought out your backups and would try and encrypt your backups. So what we did was we developed this product, and it's based around our machine learning in our HQ in Singapore. But what this enables us to do is, if the more endpoints we have, the better, obviously, data we have of what's going on in the world. It means that our active protection system is winning in pretty much all of the independent tests out there for the amount of ransomware and zero-day, the unknown stuff. We're stopping it all. And this is a totally free product. And when I say free, you don't even have to buy our backup product. If you go onto our website, if you go to, I think it's Consumer, and it's available there for a download, totally free of charge. What we've also got is something called Notary. And Notary is the ability to verify your backups have never been tampered with. And whether you're doing a whole backup image, or let's just say it's a file system which has some legal data in there. Once you back that up, it will wrap the blockchain codes around that. If that file or folder is ever tampered with from that moment on, you won't be able to validate that that data is basically original. So if there are any kind of people questioning that, you can actually create a certificate to say that it's never been tampered with since the day of backup. And we've also got something called A-Sign, which is coming as well, which is the ability not only to take those documents, but also to send them out on a kind of web-based, I'm going to say DocuSign-based system, but what it would also do is verify them afterwards with Notary to make sure that they can never be tampered with once they've signed. That's coming soon. And again, everything is protected with encryption and passwords. So I'm going to go into a little bit about Office 365 mailbox backup. It's very, very simple. It's basically the same way we do an Exchange server. And that enables you to kind of bring back, a whole mailbox, or even go down into individual emails. We have direct connection straight into Office 365. All you basically need to do is install the agent for Office 365. You give your administrator credentials, and then it will basically do the rest. When it comes to backup, it will show you every single mailbox in there, and you can decide which one's to back up and which one's not to back up. If you don't have, and this is a standalone product as well, so if you don't have stuff within your environment with servers, what you can also do is you can do a simple cloud-to-cloud backup option as well. If you do have this in conjunction with, let's say, a couple of laptops and some servers, then actually you can choose local storage options as well. And again, it's very, very simple whether you want to recover a whole mailbox or just go down into a granular email that's been deleted by mistake. It's very, very simple. I'm going to show you actually a little bit of the integration later within the demo. Now, one of the things I did want to show you, because we don't have this in the demo, is actually using Azure as a storage location. So we are probably one of the only companies out there that actually give you simple access to Microsoft's Blob storage. What a lot of the customers do, they back up their environment to something local, like a NAS box or a SAN, and then they actually use Azure Blob storage as a cost-effective archiving destination. There's two ways of doing it. The first one is to basically download an Acronis Storage ISO. Once you've got that, you basically install that within the Azure Cloud, and enter your credentials of your console, and it will automatically show that as a storage location. Again, I'm going to show you storage locations in the demo. Once you look at those, any of those could be a Azure location. If you don't want to do it through downloading our ISO, you can actually get it from the Azure Marketplace. It's very simple. You can go down, you download it, you put in a few credentials, and again, that will just automatically appear in your console within your environment. So before we get onto the demo, I'm just going to talk about licensing very, very quickly. We have 4 licenses spread over 2 different types. So the licenses are physical server, which basically covers all of your Windows and Linux servers. We have virtual host, which again, it doesn't matter what your virtual host is. It's unlimited VMs, it's unlimited sockets. If you've got a hypervisor within VMware, that's all you need. If you've got 2, you buy 2. Again, workstation is a universal license for any workstations, Mac, Windows, and again, Office 365 mailboxes as well as a separate. So that's pretty much our server licensing. And you've got 2 ways of actually looking at that. We do perpetual, which is kind of your traditional buy the software, you own it, and you buy ongoing support options. And then we've also got subscription, which is a fraction of the price of perpetual. Comes in a 1-year, 2-year, or 3-year, and you get support costs included. I think on there, a 3 or 4 year is about the equivalent of perpetual plus those support options. And finally, if after all of this demo and everything looks good, we can give you a full trial. Our trial is not a cut down version. It's actually our full product. You have access to everything for 30 days. And if you decide you like it, you can actually just buy a license key, install it into your trial version, and it will create that into live. So you don't have to go around and sort backups and add storage locations. It's already there waiting for you to go. So from that point of view, do you guys have any questions? And I'll pass back to Adam on that one as well.
Thanks very much, Kieran. So just we're going to unmute you guys in a second, just to allow you to close any questions you got. A question was put into us before this actually about charity pricing, academic pricing. I hope that person's on the call. Excellent. There is that pricing is available, so that's a good problem. That's you to approach your account manager or into some of the email information that we give you at the very end there, if you'd like a quote for that. So that is confirmed for charity pricing. So has anybody else got any questions going on? I believe you guys are unmuted. I think I'm going to take that as Kieran, you're going straight into the demo.
So with our backup product, nice and simple. It's a web-based console within your actual own network. And I'm going to give you a very, very simple overview. Now, keep in mind, I'm on the sales side of the organization. I want to make this interactive as possible. If you guys have any questions, then go for it. I'm, happy to get involved. But at the same time, keep in mind, the demonstration I'm going to give you is I'm going to go through a few of the simple points on here. But if you do have something a little bit more complicated, hopefully I'll be able to answer it to you, but I might need to take it offline. So yeah, without further ado, this is you start off, here's dashboard. It's very, very simple. You can put whatever you like on it. These are a couple of the machines we've got in our demo environment. But what we've also got is the ability to add anything else. So let's say I want to go here, I want to go to tables, and let's go for location summary. It will automatically go out, find that, and say basically what storage locations you've got registered to the system, where the current free space is, how much storage you've got left, You know, you want to add something else. Let's go for a simple pie chart. Let's look at storage. Okay, that's in our Acronis Cloud. We don't want that one, so let's do a change. Let's go for this one here. And it's nice and simple. So it's an interactive front screen. It means that whenever you log in, you don't have to go through lots of pages to find out what's going on. You've got devices here. You can also do things like error messages, activity types, whatever you like can go into this whole kind of front end. Again, it's all down to alerts as well. So we've got no alerts at the moment. And again, you can do the same reports. So you might not want to log into the dashboard. You can have these sending out, depending on severity, to any amount of people you want. So it's a completely kind of leave it and you never have to worry about it until it sends you an email type of system. If you want to log in, very, very simple. You can basically. So that's kind of like the overview, the simple view at the top. And this is the way we like to see it. It's a really, really simple system. So for example, I'm now in devices, I want to add a workstation, and then you basically pick what you want to add. So whether I want to add a Windows workstation, a Windows server, any type of virtualization host, any application, it's all there. So let's say I want to add a Windows server. I basically click on there, and all of a sudden an agent gets downloaded. Now, if I wanted to push this out through Active Directory, very, very simple. I would then basically just push out through Active Directory to all of my workstations on the environment, and as and when, cancel that. As and when they are installed, they will start appearing in this devices here. And you can basically section them down to machines with agents, VMware, Microsoft Exchange, and SQL. And exactly the same, if you wanted to do it in ESX code, you've actually got the choice of going out there and finding it. It's the same thing with a Windows server as well. If it's on the network, you can basically log straight into that and put the agent on manually, or again, you can download an agent by clicking. So it's very, very simple to add a new device. The same thing happens with Office 365. You basically click on there and you put in your username and password. So the next one is if we go into this server here, and what we can decide to do is the agent has just come on. Let's go for this one, for example, and you can set up a backup plan. And the easiest thing is you can actually choose a predefined backup plan, or you can create your own. Now, what we have down here is something called plans. And again, you can create anything you like there. So whether this be a daily backup to tape, or a daily backup to NAS, or a database which is done every 15 minutes, you can create a plan that every time you bring on a new server, you can put it into that work group, which means that you don't have to create an individual plan for everything. They can all work. And when you come into setting up a backup, you have a choice. You can back up the entire machine, you can back up disks and volumes, or you can back up files and folders. To give you a heads up, if you back up the entire machine, you will also be able to have full granular access to it as well. So even though it is a full backup, you can still go into the C drive and recover simple files and folders. So let's say we want to do this with the entire machine, and then where do you want to back it up to? I'm going to show you how to add more storage locations later. There is a better section. But you basically just pick where on the network you want it, whether it's somewhere new or somewhere old, and it will send it to that location. Again, when to schedule it, and it is as simple as how often you want it, always incremental, scheduled by time. You can go down into more in-depth details as well at the bottom. You can also do it if it's a laptop, as soon as it turns on, start backing it up, or wait 10 minutes and start backing it up. So whatever you are looking for, that's what it would basically do. And how long to keep it? The standard there is 6 months, 4 weeks, 7 days, and then you run a cleanup after that, so it keeps your storage costs down. Or you can keep backups indefinitely, or you can do by number of backups. So you basically have a complete, however long you want to keep your data for, however long, how often you want to back up, no problem at all. You can also choose to add encryption as well. So again, once you have those backups, put in a nice simple password around that. Keep in mind there are no backdoor entries into this. If you lose that password, your backups are lost. If there's a change in staff, make sure as many people have that password as possible, because you'd be surprised how many people ring us up trying to, find a way in, and there's no way, unfortunately. We've also got other stuff as well, so convert to VM, which means that when you do that nice simple backup, you can decide in a separate location to, from that backup, create a VM to sit in cold, warm standby, waiting for something to go, if anything does go wrong, it will be able to spin it up pretty much straight away. We've also got, again, application-aware backups as well. So if it is an Exchange server, you just click yes, and this is all included within the agent costs, and then it will automatically know that it has to go down into a completely granular level. So again, looking to do that one doesn't have any backups, so we'll go into there. When we are looking to do a recovery, we've got two options. You can recover entire machine files and folders, which is what we can do on any server. You can go down and you can drill into that, or you can do the whole of Exchange database or Exchange mailbox. Okay, so once you've gone into there, you can see all of your employees. Let's click on Aurora Holt. And then from there, you can recover things like mailboxes, you can recover calendars, to-do lists. There is an inbox there, and I want to recover this email here, and you can. And that will just push it straight back into a email server. Again, the same thing with calendar invites, tasks as well, and contacts. So, worst case scenario, you get a corrupt mailbox, you can recover the whole mailbox. But let's say you get a disgruntled member of staff who leaves and deletes everything, then you can always go back and just recover it from yesterday. No problem at all. All right, I'm now glad that that's working. The other option is going into files and folders, and hopefully this will work as well. Okay, here's what the storage was probably restarted. So we can go into the C drive, and again, you can go down and go into wherever you like. If it's somebody's desktop, you can recover that as well from their last backup. And we also have another option there as well, which is run as a VM. Now, what you do with this system is click run as a VM. It is a full backup, but what it will start doing is you put a front-end machine as a target, and it will automatically be able to run that as a VM from that system. And again, that is using our active, basically instant recovery. It is still a backup image, but it's emulating a C drive. You can run it in a test environment, so you just want to show, let's say, auditors. But once you've got that up and running, you also have the ability to put that into live. So then it will start recovering in the background while it's still running. So that's our simple how to set up a server, how to set up a backup, and actually how to recover. I was talking about plans earlier on, which is you can actually create your own plan. But what you can also do is, for example, here, you can import all of your existing servers, or let's say I wanted to create a plan here, you can call it laptop. And every time you get a new laptop in there, you can just pop that into that backup plan, and it would start exactly the same way. And the reason we would normally separate the laptops is because they have things like backup on wake and stuff like that. You've also got other options as well here, like backup replication. And you've also got convert to VM. So again, backup replication is, let's say you're using a NAS box or a SAN on your system, and you've got one in, let's say, a second location or a second building. You can actually use something called Acronis Storage. Nice and simple. Once you add location here, download an Acronis Storage node. What an Acronis Storage node does is it's kind of like a converged storage software. So if you've got a NAS box or a couple of NAS boxes, it will actually turn them into a full storage pool cluster. And if you've got a SAN on another system, it will also turn that into a cluster. And then you will have deduplication, compression, things like, multi-geographical location replication within the Acronis backup system. It's all managed internally. It's really, really simple, but you get fantastic kind of storage saving things, but it also adds redundancy into your existing storage. So if you've got a couple of cheap bits of storage that you got with single, let's say, controller, it will turn that into a whole converged pool. So again, backup locations, if you want to add a new location, you basically just choose what you want. You've got cloud storage here, which is Acronis. We give you 5 gigs for free, and that's just to test it out. Most people will have much more than 5 gigs. And again, local folders, network folders, storage nodes again. You can also use tape, secure FTP, and obviously network files as well. So whatever you've got, wherever you're looking to store that data, And again, if you are looking to add something to, let's say, a Google data center, to an Azure data center, if you're looking to go to Amazon, you would also use this Acronis storage platform as well. And finally, if you go into settings, what we've got is things called organizations. And then from there, so let's say you're the overarching organization, you can actually create other units. So let's say you've got your HQ in Birmingham, and then you can also have your Manchester and London offices. What you could also do is if they have their own kind of IT manager within that office, you can create individual administrators just for that location, which means they would only have access to their servers, they would only be able to recover their servers, laptops in their location. And again, you can have overarching control via a kind of like a master administrator as well. On here as well, you can also see all of your agents and all of your licenses. So if you do decide to set up, let's say, a new workstation or something like that, and you haven't got around to it, once you get the new key, you can add it in there, no problem at all. Keep in mind, those keys will work 30 days as well. And finally, obviously, you've also got storage nodes as well. And this is where you manage your storage, your Acronis storage things. You can create more, you can add managed locations, and you can actually add separate nodes as well. So it will be able to give you data redundancy, automatic self-healing and such, spread over multiple geographical locations, based with as many different hardware points as you put in there. So not only are you giving yourself a complete backup solution, you're also giving yourself a fully redundant storage management system at the same time, all included in the cost of your agent. I think that's me done now. We will just switch back. Basically, you know, what we've discussed today is, and I think the things you take away from this, I'm a salesperson. I've never had real training on that console. You could probably have guessed. But you can kind of fumble around it and find whatever you need to do. You don't need training. We also have some very, very good documentation as well that help you do it bit by bit. But it is very, very, very simple. I want to add a server, there's an add server button. I want to set up this backup plan. It's very self-explanatory. I can recover a server in 3 clicks. I can back up a server in 4 clicks. I want to add storage. It doesn't matter where it is. The service will manage it for you as well. Pricing-wise, you know, we're very, very simple with our pricing. And the idea is, the one thing to take away, we can back up anything and send it to anywhere. And it's very, very simple to use. Right. So I will pass back to Adam.
Lovely, thank you very much, Kieran. So hopefully you guys got a good insight to the product from there. Apologies for the technical issues again, but that is live for you. If anybody's got any questions, do they want to vocalise those now? If you think of questions afterwards, if there's slightly more detailed information you want, our information is there. So you've got our information at greymatter.com you can pop into. If you have a particular account manager, if you've dealt with Greymatter before, then obviously feel free to contact those. If you're looking for more information on the different licensing, how it might be beneficial for you guys and prices, and obviously you can speak to us there. So our number's there, our email's there. So has anybody got anything they want to ask myself or Kieran before we sign off? Perfect. I think our work here is done. So hopefully you guys have got a great idea of how the product works. But yeah, as I say, make sure that you contact in if you've got questions afterwards, if you guys are interested in pricing or you want some more detailed information. So I think from there, we'll just say thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate your time today.
Thanks very much, guys, and have a good day.